Well, some breaking news out of the Premier League. Oliver Glasner announced that this season will be his last season at Crystal Palace. In a stunning press conference before tomorrow's match against Sunderland, Glasner said, quote, "I told Steve Parish I'm looking for a new challenge. It's my feeling after everything. I told him in October it's nothing to do with the transfer window. I hate if something is written that is not true. It's tough for me to respond. We have a great relationship and are always talking about what's best for Palace." Glasner also said that Captain Marc Guehi will not be in the squad against Sunderland tomorrow and that his move to Manchester City is at the final stages. We missed a lot while being on air. Holy crap.
We didn't miss it. It happened elsewhere. I mean, 2 bombshells in one press conference.
Jesus.
If I'm a reporter there is literally smoke coming off of my laptop as I'm filing that. I mean, they're not completely unexpected. The one element I'm surprised at, Troy, though, is that he has come out and said it publicly now. You know, unless they've got wind that it's been leaked, why say it now?
No, I think a little bit different to that. I think he's made it very public at the start of the first transfer window of the summer where he said they sold Eze and he wanted people in. They didn't back him. He's made it very public all through the colder months, shall we say, of where he wanted more investment, more squads. He hammered his team after their loss in the FA Cup to Macclesfield, saying the 21s could be better than what we're doing. And now he's probably been told Guehi's going. Because remember, when he was going to Fulham, it was him that stopped it. He said, if you let Marc Guehi go, I'm leaving. So now Marc Guehi's gone, and now he tells you I'm leaving. I think it all worked. I think he's just been true to what he says. I think if you're Palace, it puts you in a difficult position. I also think there's a Man United strand to this that, like, no one
thought... Too much of a coincidence.
But no one thought to phone and check, see what was happening before announcing Michael Carrick just a few days ago. You know, like, it just feels a little bit that's gone. But to this, if you're Crystal Palace now, I believe you have to make the harsh decision of moving him on, Oliver Glasner.
Now, I would disagree with that.
Now, because what you're going to do, you've lost your best player. You've lost your best players throughout the whole course of this. You're going to sleepwalk to the end of the season without knowing anything. If you're a player and he's trying to motivate you, how am I going to motivate? You're leaving. You're leaving us. Why am I going to be motivated for you? It all comes down to self-pride. I think Palace need to get ahead of this now. They're not in no danger of getting relegated, in my opinion. I think they're too good to get relegated.
No, there's enough of a buffer.
Go and get somebody now. Give them the opportunity to look and feel and build together in January, all the way through to the summer. Hit the pre-season, ready to go.
Who would you get?
It's going to be tough. Glasner's won something not a lot of people can win for Palace.
He's a legend, Tom.
Exactly.
Their first ever trophy. But I would equally point out 2 points from 15.
Exactly. But do you think now...
No wins in the last 5.
Do you think they'll be short of candidates for that job?
Not at all. It's a Premier League club. It's a good club. It's a well-run club. Steve Parish is an excellent chairman. So there'll be no shortage of applicants. But what do you make of Troy's point about...
Absolutely not. So you talked about pride. I think the players have pride. I think he's a prideful guy. I think that this is more about planning, and it is interesting to announce it publicly. You could say honesty, that's all fine, and what the ramifications will be. They're still in the Conference League, and I think they have a chance to win that trophy. I think if you take the manager out and then either do an interim or try to find somebody who comes in mid-season, that lessens your chance to win that trophy. I don't think that Glasner is going to be any less involved or any less... He's not going to be working any less hard. He's going to be completely committed to this club.
No, but his message is watered down, is the point. His message becomes watered down.
So my pushback there would be, so as I left, Guehi's leaving now. In 2026 in football, the players are all... What they're playing for, it doesn't need to be the manager. It could be, I'm playing for a new contract. I'm playing for the next transfer. It's not as if they're... playing for the World Cup.
I take those points, but no, I think when you're on that slippery slope, it's already going that way, which it has done. You need the manager to be all in. You need him to be the driver to get the players to go on the upward curve. Him announcing that he's leaving...
He's getting off the bus.
They're losing their captain, the guy who holds it together, their best performer. Right. Everything seems to be trending that way. So what, do you want to wait until the end of the season to keep going that way, or do you want to do something else?
I would also... What do we think of... Why is Marc Guehi not involved this weekend?
Because he's got
he
to
won't
get some medicals done.
Yeah. I can't imagine that he would voluntarily play either way because.
No, but I think, to be fair to Marc, I think you have to give him credit because he handled himself exceptionally well with the Liverpool
My
stuff.
God, he did interviews like for the club in the club shirt.
He was there, and then obviously had to come back, played the next week, got on with business. I think now at this moment in time, if you're Crystal Palace, even from the ownership point of view, you can't turn down Liverpool's offer and Man City's offer and then lose him for free in the summer.
Do we know what the fee was? Because he's up in the summer. I'm going to be intrigued.
Haven't seen any reports on the fee.
As to what.
It was 40 million from Liverpool in the summer. I can't imagine it's that.
But from Marc's point of view, I think he's obviously said, like, look, we're at that point now, it's nearly done. I'm not going to play at the weekend. I don't think he'd done a Josh Sargent and text. I think he would have gone face to face and done it. But he's probably going to have all these things done over the weekend. And then they'll announce him Monday, but they will have it in place as quickly as possible. £20
million is what the current report is on Guehi for the move to Manchester City. So really quickly,
if you're Crystal Palace, you can't turn down £20 million compared to nothing in the summer, can you? Yeah.
I guess, but I would have said that about 40 in the summer, and Glasner obviously put his foot down and said, if this happens, I'm gone. So we don't have enough time to talk about all of the different strands. There are so many different ways to go on both of these stories. So I'm going to throw this to you real quick, Geoff. There's the angle of Glasner, what happens with Palace? Where does Glasner go? Maybe it's United, maybe it's somewhere else. Who knows what other jobs open up before the summer? Third, Manchester City, their title fortifications with Guehi in this team. 4, if you're Liverpool, you're looking back at you had him in the building and you were on the verge of completing a deal. And now you have a huge question mark in central defense. Van Dijk's getting a little older. This was going to be the partner and the succession of Van Dijk. You don't know if Konate is staying. And then Bayern were sniffing around for Guehi as well. So which one of those 5 angles are you most interested in right now?
Does Glasner stay till the end of the season?
Do you really think that's...
Yeah, because I think Troy makes a good point, because it's hard enough for any manager to get the players on the bus with him and go on the journey. In fact, I think Troy will claim he said this 6 years ago.
I'm just saying, the T-shirt's coming. Because you see at the start, he argued, and then he went...
About Oliver Glasner.
That's what he let him marinate. Yeah, I think he let it marinate in his brain.
Listen, anybody who talks about themselves in the third person is a worry.
That's just because I'm not smart enough. Too many blows to the head.
Yeah, well, like you said, so you imagine you're trying to get people on the bus with you.
Yeah.
And they say, well, hang on, you're getting off the bus yourself. So
do you think this is the first time the players are hearing about it, though? Because he said, I told them back in October that I wanted a new challenge.
I'd like to know. This is a developing story. This is happening as we're on air. I'd like to know why he has said this now. That's what I want to know.
The thing is, what he's talking about is he said that to the ownership, that he would like to move on. So the ownership should be in a position that they've got a short list ready to go anyway. You can't tell the players, this is my last season. You can't. The lads will just instantly get up. And I'll give you a very quick story. I had Marco Silva at Watford, and we were doing really well, and he got Everton wanted to get him. And there was a moment where we wasn't sure if he was going, where he wasn't. And all he had to say it was, I'm going to do my job now, and if something happens, it happens. He just refused to answer the question. And everybody instantly, because we was watching it in the changing room, was going, he doesn't want to be here. And over the next 2 to 3 weeks, it just went boom, 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 until he was gone. Because everyone knew, well, he's screaming and shouting, hey, do this, do that. Well, you're going.
Yeah.
So what does it matter? Like it's a sense of disappointment, like your mum's not picked you up on time from school. Like you said you were going to be here, but you're not. And even though they get there, you're still a little bit annoyed that you've had to wait. There's this whole feeling that when it goes very quickly.
Does it change completely?
And it goes. The hardest thing in football is to keep trust, gain trust, and keep trust. You can lose it in one sentence, in one action. In leaving somebody on the bench and not bringing them on, in telling somebody that, hey, keep playing, your time's coming, and then you don't bring them on. It changes so quickly, and the lads instantly move on. Managers don't stay around for 20 years anymore. Yeah. People are used to revolving doors. So if he was to leave today, they'd be like, oh, that's got, who's next? That's how quick it is. Who's next?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Do you think the players take it offensively when he said, I want to leave for a new challenge? Like, does that spark anything to you?
I think players can understand that because players are in that moment as well. Like, you know, there'll be the likes of Guehi, there'll be the likes of Ismail Assar, who's away in AFCON with Senegal, thinking, if we win this, like, can I go to a top 4 club? There'll be Adam Wharton. There's so many players in that team that think they can go on.
Richards.
That won't be an issue. I think it's more that the messaging gets diluted. So for me, the big interesting part now is what Palace do. As I said, I think you're sleepwalking to the end of the season if they stay as currently is.
I do think as well, and I like Crystal Palace a lot as a club. But I think when they got him, given his pedigree, they were punching a little bit above their weight and getting him in the first place.
100%. He's transformed what Crystal Palace are, not only in the Premier League, but globally and in Europa Conference as well.
You hope so, but I think my worry for them is, so he came in February 2024. This has been the best period in our lifetimes for them. But
you remember, he had a terrible start.
Yeah.
He didn't win in 10.
Is this sustainable, or are we going to look back on this as, oh, man, that really fun Crystal Palace year where they won the FA Cup and maybe did something in the Conference League?
100%.
And maybe. I don't know. Like, look at Leicester City. Like, they did, I think, every step right after winning that shock title to, all right, let's reinforce this, let's stay here. And then they've become a yo-yo club.
Yeah.
I disagree with that last point, but we ain't got long enough.